We're live. Hey guys, welcome back to Critical African Thinkers. As you know, this is a place where we examine everything under the microscope of logic to ascertain what is most factual and logically consistent. So today I'm going to be covering Abby Martin's trip to Israel, which just exposes the psychopathy of Israeli society. But I would just preface this with a personal, with an anecdote. Growing up as a young Christian boy, I was fascinated with the country called Israel. I was enamored by it. There was no country I held in the highest regard than Israel. There were no people that I respected more than Jewish people, than Jews all over the world. They had the most respect, in my opinion, of any people. Because after all, these were the flesh and blood of my Lord and Master Jesus Christ. So they held a special place in my heart. They were a special people, even if not for religious reasons, but somehow they were special people to me. But today, I find that sentiment has sort of flipped and not, that sentiment has changed and not in a good direction. And there is no country that I would I say despise more than now than the country of Israel. There are no people that I've lost the most respect for than Jewish Israelis. Now I've got to make a distinction between Jewish Israelis and other Jewish people. I find that other Jewish people who are not Israelis are well adjusted, normal human beings who have a diversity of opinions, of behaviors, of thoughts, like any other group, like any other demography. So you find the good, the bad, the ugly in Jewish society. And I respect that. American Jews, Jews in other parts of the world, I respect them. But when it comes to Jewish Israelis, there is a particular psychopathy that post October 7 has become evident from their behavior, and not just from the behavior of the Israeli leadership, because a lot of people like to blame whatever is going on with Israel with the Netanyahu government. But Netanyahu's government is a reflection of Israeli society. And if you even dive deeper into it, you find out that the Netanyahu government is not even as radical as Israeli society. It's tame compared to society itself. So what gives? Not just Israeli society, not its just its politicians, its media. So Abby Martin went to Israel. She did some interviews talking to just ordinary Israelis, just to pick their mindset on certain things. And it was shocking. It was disconcerting to me. The responses that these people gave showed that they had very little regard for human life. They had very little regard for law. They had very little regard for, just basic compassion to other human beings that were not Jews. And it frightened me. So I just wanted to cover that thing, that's trip that Abby Martin made to Israel. But at times you don't get to know someone, you don't get to know people until you've encountered them, until you had personal dealings with them. And this is what she discovered when she went there.
What you guys think too, right?
Come on, lady.
Not today.
Step through. I'll swipe.
The whole world has to isolate this rogue, apartheid, genocidal, maniac, serial killing, pathologically lying state. Isolate it, shame anyone who goes there. Academics, celebrities, politicians, and they've been exposed for what they are. And Zionism's on its last leg. It only exists by the weight of its propaganda, and that propaganda has collapsed entirely. The world sees Israel for what it is, and it can't last for long in its current state. You cannot expect change in a society this far gone. It is full-throated fascist. And that's why they act the way they do, with full, total impunity, because they have no humanity left. This is a society so far gone with protection of a military empire, with hatred in their hearts. And we're seeing essentially the Fourth Reich today, marching forward, and there's no allied forces coming to save us. The Israeli Knesset just passed a law allowing the execution of Palestinian prisoners, but not Israelis. This is the true face of apartheid Israel. But this is nothing new. I saw this firsthand when I was in Israel back in 2016. Full-throated fascism.
You can't deal with these people. There's no need to try. There's no need to talk to them.
There's only one way, like, I would carpet bomb them.
You would carpet bomb them?
It's the only way you could deal with it.
I didn't realize this. I didn't realize how viscerally, grotesquely genocidal Israelis were. How open.
Mind you, that clip she just played was from 2016. So this wasn't after the atrocities of October 7th. This was from 2016, and you have ordinary Jewish Israelis saying that the only way to deal with Palestinians is to carpet bomb them. That's the only way to deal with them. Some people might say the Israelis are, using this kind of rhetoric because of what they went through on October 7th. That would have been a valid criticism if Israel did not have this behavior before October 7th. If Israel did not have this sort of genocidal intent against Palestinians before October 7th. So you can't use October 7th as an excuse for whatever Israel is doing right now.
Openly fascist they would be to anyone.
Jews shouldn't marry Arabs.
Shouldn't marry Arabs. Why do you feel strongly about that?
Because Jews is a special nation that God gave it to the Jews. We don't want the Arabs to be here.
They knew that they were on camera. That's what's so alarming to me too. I wasn't trying to hide. I wasn't doing gotcha journalism. I was going up with a camera and saying, generally, what do you think about the situation?
I think Israelis have to take over, and they have to kick them away.
I was so horrified.
Kick them away to where? Where exactly do you intend to kick up to 6 million people? Where do you want to kick them to?
Alarmed at the genocidal rhetoric that was being espoused. Every single person, for every generation, every walk of life, they wanted ethnic cleansing. They said we should nuke them. One little girl laughing, we should kill all Arabs. Kill.
How do you have this kind of behavior being ubiquitous in a society? From top to bottom, from old to young, male and female, there is something fundamentally broken in such a society for almost everyone to hold those set of ideals that are inhumane.
All Arabs.
We need to kill the Arabs. No.
It shows you the.
Imagine what she's laughing at. What's giving her joy? That's a young woman. You might not even call her a woman. That's a girl laughing and smiling at the thoughts of killing all Arabs.
Impunity back then, the arrogance to just assume this is what you guys think too, right? You're an American, you agree with me. You guys have been doing the same thing. This is who we are. We're proud racists. We're proudly fascist. I felt like I was walking into Berlin in 1932. I really felt absolutely disgusted. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, just walking a couple steps, and as white as I am, are you Arab? Are you Arab? And I'm like, what? I'm an American. Oh, good. We can talk about Arabs then. We can talk about how much we hate Palestinians. I saw the writing on the wall back then. I saw that there's no hope from within Israeli society. I went to rallies where they were calling to kick all the refugees out. You know, these were things that we're told Israel's a safe haven for Holocaust survivors, for genocide survivors. Well, why are all the African refugees put out in the middle of the Negev desert into a concentration camp? Why don't they want any African refugees there? They tokenize Ethiopian refugees, but then they make them take Depo-Provera birth control because they don't want them to reproduce. This is the nature of Israeli society. It's an ethno-state, and it's built on supremacy and hate, because that's what Zionism is.
All right, baby, let me tell you exactly what you're going to get inside Singing from Scratch right now for just $27.
How many civilians have been killed in Gaza, from what you know?
Who gives a shit?
Okay, but don't you feel like, for example, children?
Children grow up to be Arabs.
You have to.
So that's her justification for supporting the murder and the killing of children. Children grow up to become Arabs, so better kill them before they grow up to become Arabs. But you've got to ask yourself, what's wrong with Arabs? If Arabs are having a certain attitude towards Jewish Israelis, there's got to be something there. This doesn't just fall from the sky. No, it is not anti-Semitism. They simply do not hate Jews for religious reasons. They despise Jews, Jewish Israelis specifically, for what they have done to them, ethnically cleansing them from their land and creating an apartheid state on their land where they do not have rights, where they cannot move freely, where they do not have political rights, where they cannot determine their future. If you put people through such conditions, best believe that they are going to grow some sort of hatred in their heart for you. Because of what you're doing to them, it is inhuman. Is it wrong for slaves to have hated their slave masters because of what they did to them? But ask yourself, what did Palestinians do to Jewish Israelis before 1948 that warranted them to be kicked off their land, that wanted them to become second-class citizens on their own land?
Continue to expel. You have to continue to kill to keep that artificial majority in place.
If you gave me a button to just erase Gaza, every single living being in Gaza would no longer be living tomorrow, I would press it in a second. I would press it right now. Give me that button and press it right now.
There you go.
And I think most Israelis would.
During the Gaza genocide.
And that's just two nice Jewish guys. Just two ordinary Jewish guys. Nothing out of the ordinary. These are not extremists. So imagine how the extremists in Israel would be if these are just the normal Israeli Jews. If this how they think, that if you could give them a button where they press it and wipe out everyone in Gaza, men, women, and children, everything, that they would press it without hesitation. If this does not confirm the psychopathy of Israeli society, nothing else does.
Genocide, to see people just proclaim out in the open the genocidal incitement.
It's an entire nation out there that is responsible.
אנחנו משמידים את כל מה שעוד נשאר מהרצועה ולא משאיר אבן על אבן. גם מים אנחנו לא צריכים לתת לרצועת עזה. אנחנו מפרקים את עזה ומשאירים אותה כאויי חרבות עם הרס מוחלט וחסר תקדים בעולם.
זכור את אשר עשה לך עמלק, נצטווינו. אנו זוכרים ואנו נלחמים.
It was heinous.
So we have seen this same pattern consistent from Israeli civilians to Israeli politicians to the Israeli military calling for genocide. It's all on camera. There are no uninvolved civilians in Gaza, is what they said. The president of Israel himself said so. That it's a whole nation who are responsible. And then Netanyahu invoked Amalek. I'm a Christian, so I know exactly what he's referring to, where God gave the command to the Israelites of old to kill the Amalekites, everything, to kill everything, men, women, children, including sheep, goats, what have you. That is what he is invoking. That is the sort of rhetoric that the prime minister is invoking. Some people might look at Israeli society and they've used this as an excuse to say, oh, the people who are saying all those things, they're just they don't have the power to implement or enforce any of those crazy things that they say. But these are the people in power, the prime minister, the president, the military, holding these views. They have the power to implement such policies, and they indeed have done so. So it has gone beyond rhetoric. It has gone into the sphere of implementation. This is a psychopathy.
Heinous and horrifying, but finally people saw Israel for what it is. It's all been exposed. They're not hiding anymore.
כל ילד, כל תינוק בעזה הוא אויב.
אני רוצה להעיף אותם, להשמיד אותם עד האחרון בהם.
אם מעזה אתם תמשיכו לרעוב, תמשיכו למות, הבתים שלכם ימשיכו להישרף.
אני לא חושב שיש מישהו במדינת ישראל, בארץ ישראל, שצריך לרחם על העזתים האלה. לא על מבוגרים, לא על קשישים, לא על צעירים ולא על ילדים. מבחינתי שירעבו למוות, מה אכפת לי מהם?
אנחנו שורפים להם את הכפר. זה טוב שאנחנו שורפים להם את הכפר.
Israel's propaganda.
Imagine what they are clapping to. Imagine the sort of conversations they're having in Israeli media about genocide, about dispossession, about killing people. And it's just another Tuesday for them. This is normal. They shouldn't have any pity. They shouldn't take any pity on the people of Gaza. Because after all, they're not human beings. Who else has done something like that? Oh, the Nazis. So never again means only never again for Jews, right? It's crazy that a people who have gone through something as terrible as the Holocaust, when they are in the position to do better, choose to do exactly the same things that they suffered from. So maybe Kanye was right. Hurt people hurt people. But this reveals the psychopathy in Israeli society. So we have seen Israeli civilians, we have seen the Israeli leadership, political leadership, we have seen the Israeli military, and then we've seen the Israeli media all aligned on the genocidal rhetoric and actions and behavior and thoughts. That's a sick society.
Propaganda is not working anymore because for the first time, Palestinians have been able to just show us the unvarnished truth of the reality that they endure on a daily basis. We see the settler terrorism. We see the people getting mowed down for doing nothing. We see the crimes every single day. You cannot hide genocide from us. So the propaganda has become cartoonish.
I'm very puzzled by the constant concern which the world is showing for the Palestinian people and is actually showing for these horrible, inhuman animals.
It's inverted, just
referring to human beings as inhuman animals. Very Nazi-like.
Everything that we know to be true. Black is white, up is down. It's the most moral army in the world. We're a benevolent empire spreading human rights and democracy. Who the hell believes this anymore? So it's become silly. It's become absurd.
I'm begging you, stop saying, I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine.
The Israelis today saying that Hamas use Palestinians as human shields. Do they?
Killing the victims, then blaming the victims for killing themselves. I mean, what is this logic?
They infantilize us. They treat us like children.
This is a genocide happening in front of our eyes.
We have, that word is, as you know, incredibly emotive, and the Israelis, as you know, will be saying that they are targeting Hamas only.
It's become so obvious that we're being dictated to, that our reality is curated by tech overlords who are profiting off the infrastructure of genocide, of the surveillance of our lives. All of these things are interconnected. So the propaganda doesn't work anymore. It's too infantilizing and stupid.
One day after describing it as a tragic mishap, Israel has now claimed a deadly double strike on a Gaza hospital was prompted by the discovery of a Hamas camera.
A Hamas camera is why they blow up journalists at a hospital, because they have a camera that belonged to Hamas. I mean, it just makes corporate media journalists and establishment journalists look like buffoons, doesn't it? For towing this absurd propaganda that's so hollowed out and childlike. They should be ashamed.
They're not even trying to hide it. They don't care. They don't care what you think. It's extremely narcissistic and psychopathic.
Ashamed of themselves.
We have some really disturbing new information out of Israel. The Israeli Prime Minister's spokesman just confirmed babies and toddlers were found with their heads decapitated.
There's no excuse whatsoever. They are complicit in this. But you see Israel buying up media outlets.
But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one.
Do you see Israeli billionaires trying to tamp down on the narrative? They're desperate. They're desperate because they know that's the only way they'll survive, is to try to convince the world of the opposite of what we're all seeing. So that's why you see these desperate, pathetic influencers just spewing lies.
I'm here in Gaza, and all I see is food, water, and opportunity. But instead of Hamas distributing the ramen noodles, they're eating it all, and that's why their leaders are on Ozempic.
Gay.
Because that's all they have left. They don't have anything anymore. But it's too late. We're never going to forget what it looks like when Palestinians hold their children in plastic bags. No one can forget that. I'm never going to forget the sound of a drone emitting a crying baby so it can massacre children who come out of their homes.
جماعة الخير كوادكاب ترقط لصوت أطفال الآن من مخيم إنصارات. امبارح استشهدوا شاب طلع مسكين يشوف إيش الصوت في مدرسة طبعا طلع والله قنصوه.
And get lured like a cat and mouse. No one's going to forget that. No one's going to forget what it looks like in Gaza today. You can't wash that away. You can't paper over that with degenerate propaganda, base level lies. No one's going to paper over the unvarnished truth of what we've all witnessed for years now. Now, this is urgent. If you
Yep. So it's as clear as day, the sort of psychopathy that is prevalent in Israeli society. And I don't think there is any other country in this world at the moment that has this level of, not even, I think, the Taliban of Afghanistan would, in my opinion, behave like this, as bad as they are. It just goes to show you how terrible this society is. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Israel is a perfect Middle Eastern country. It fits right into the culture of the Middle East, into the extreme culture of the Middle East. The thing that really pains me is that it claims to be the only democracy in the Middle East. But that's all nonsense. At least the other Arab states, they are honest about what they are. They are theocracies. And they do terrible things that theocratic governments and societies do. So it is clear. Israel is a Jewish theocratic state, an ethno-state. And that isn't any different from Saudi Arabia or some of the other extremist states that you have around there. But then it cloaks itself in Western ideals of human rights and democracy and so on and so forth. And it has none of them. Just as Abby Martin has exposed with her trip to Israel in 2016, not yesterday, not post October 7th, 2016. And we can see that Israeli politicians, we can see that Israeli society, ordinary members of Israeli society, we could see their media and we could see their military all aligned on the genocidal agenda of dispossessing Palestinians of their land, of dehumanizing them, of killing them, of treating them like animals. So I have absolutely no respect for Israel, a country that I used to respect above any other country. Zero. I mean, I have zero respect for that country because of what he does and what it continues to do. And until it changes, that's going to remain. That's going to be my attitude towards them. Anyway, that's what I wanted to cover today. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in another live stream. It's bye for now.